Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are going to be taking a first look at a game called First Strike by the folks at Blind Flug Studios. This is a sponsored video from them, so thank you for that. But we are taking a look at this game, which is available on mobile, so if you have an Android device or an iOS device, you want to pick this game up, you can definitely go ahead in the App Store and check that out. In today's video, we are going to be playing the Steam version, which is a paid premium version of the game. And this is a game that is about nuclear war. So if you want to play a quick, fun game about nuclear war, such as, you know, nuclear war can be fun, this is the game that you might want to check out. It is a game that is also able to be played very quickly. So if you don't have a ton of time and you want to play something, this is an option for you. This game does have a single-player mode, which is what we're going to be playing today. But you can also play multiplayer against folks, you know, across the world, if you will. But without further ado, let's get in, let's jump in and play a quick playthrough and just kind of show you guys how this game works. So as we said, we're going to play the single player mode. There are, I believe, 11 different countries in this game that you can play. Some of them are regions like Western Europe, some of them are countries like North Korea. We're going to be playing today as the United States. You can unlock countries, so not all of the countries start unlocked for you, but as you play through, as you gain experience and whatnot, you can unlock them. You can play with quite a few countries on the map. You can play with up to, if you unlock them, you can play with up to 11 countries on a map. As you'll see, we're going to play with 5, but even just playing with 5, things get pretty frenetic pretty quickly. 3 different difficulty levels: newcomer, survivor, hardcore. When you do pick a country, different countries have different technical traits, if you will. So you can see here that if we look at like Russia, they've got good missile tech nation and a little bit less recon. They're not efficient. While the United States has decent kind of everything. If you go in here, you've got different super weapons that you can play with. You've got, kind of starting unlocked weapons. Like, for the Americans, you've got the stealth bomber here, which allows you to attack countries more stealthily, which is important. You'll see, as missiles start flying, if there's a way to attack an enemy where they don't know that you're attacking them, huge advantage. And then you've got different, missile tech as well. Cobalt bombs, which, maximize fallout, which is relevant to like destroying regions beyond what you're just targeting. You've got dirty bombs, which help make a land uninhabitable, which in the gameplay you'll also see, hey, you can retake territory that's been destroyed or reuse territory that's been destroyed, and so that's an important thing. And then you've also got things like Tsar bombers or other weapons like that that have like massive impact on continent killers almost, if you will. There's a lot of different techs here. Not all of them are unlocked. Some of them are a little bit, a little bit fun and whimsical. Cali Storm, a deadly transmitter creating a dead zone, like crashing all warheads to the ground below. Obviously some of that stuff's fantastical, but that's the kind of game that this is, and what have you. So let's jump in playing as the Americans and see what happens. Now, once you're in the game, you can see here, this is the map of the United States. This is what we start off with. But what I'm actually going to do first is I'm going to expand into Mexico, and I'm going to expand into Canada. The reason I'm expanding into new provinces is because this is a game that plays fast, and you can get destroyed quickly as well. So the quicker you expand, the less vulnerable you are to an early enemy attack. Additionally, I'm going to research an ICBM rocket right now. This is the tech tree here. You can see we've got War Tech 1, satellite recon, enhanced capacity for our bombs, IRBMs, cruise missiles, and different, things already unlocked with these check marks here. The blue circles are the things you can research. ICBM, I think, is the most urgent because right now, if we actually want to attack, you can see here we have and I'm not looking at this here real quick. You can actually see if we attack here, we have a limited radius that we can attack, represented by this orange icon here. That's the range of the cruise missile tech we have. And then we also have the IRBMs, which similarly have limited range of what we can attack. And a lot of our foes may be outside that range, out in this direction. So better to have ICBMs, which allow me to basically target everything. So that's important. Additionally, keep expanding early. I think that is a very ideal tech. Now you can only do so many things at once. You don't want to, box yourself out of being able to, build enough weapons early on, because the AI will attack early and will destroy you early if you're not smart. So more capacities for bigger and stronger bombs, longer range weapons. Those are the kind of things that we're going to be looking at here to do sooner rather than later. And I'm also going to try and clear out my arsenal a bit of these MRBMs. We are researching better weapons, ICBMs, but in addition to that, I also want to, use up the ones that I've got. So that's something that's worth considering here. So we've got the ICBMs research now. We're going to start our work on that, and we will start also expanding into South America. There doesn't appear to be South America in this particular playthrough, so it's kind of randomly selecting. Sometimes there are South American countries you play with, sometimes there are not. But in this case, it does not look like there is. So now that I have ICBMs, my main concern is destroying my foes. I think the first foe I want to go ahead and go after is going to be down here in Australia. So let's go ahead and do this. Click here. You can see it's going to zoom in like this. Also, let's do this. Actually, I don't know if any of my medium range systems can reach there. They probably can reach England. So let's go ahead and, or not England, Europe. So let's go ahead and target Europe. You have to basically click and then wait for it to sort of wait a second or two. Oh, the enemy launched immediately on me, so obviously they can hit me too. So you can see we are taking quite a bit of damage there up in the north, but all of our weapons here dropping on Europe. And then also there's some Middle Eastern country here. Western Europe has given up, so Western Europe is out of the game. You can see we took some damage. Some of our early provinces here were destroyed, but you know what? Overall, I'd say that we got off pretty lightly with all the missiles I saw in the air. They must not have had very powerful ones. We obliterated the Europeans, however. And so now that we've cleared out most of our inventory of MRBMs with that over-the-pole strike with IRBMs, we can go ahead and just start building more ICBMs. There is a diplomacy thing in this game too, so keep that in mind. You can go down here to diplomacy, and you can negotiate. Western Europe's obviously dead, so nothing to do there. But if we want to go ahead and negotiate with Australia, we can do that. Sometimes countries will tell you, hey, we don't want to negotiate with you. We think you're bad, so let's not do that. But that's, neither here nor there. That's just something to be mindful of. I suppose if a country says, we see no future in a negotiated peace with you, I might be inclined to go to war with them because... why don't you see a future with peace with me unless you're planning to attack me? I think that seems like the only logical explanation. Also worth considering, when you do nuke countries, radiation can spill over from the province you nuke to an adjoining province. So just because, you've got like 8 provinces, these could all be wiped out by a few big nukes in this game with the way that it works. So we've wiped out Europe. It looks like most of the other countries here are in Asia. Which is interesting because the last time I played they were in South America, which made them much more difficult to deal with. I've only got one. Israel first strike detected. On me? Oh, fuck. Alright, well, counter-strike. You can see they've got 3 weapons coming in, and I've got a lot more than that going out. I also do think... Alright, they just took out Nevada. So you can see those 3 weapons. Oh my goodness, they took out half of my country. But we'll see how many are takeout. They also do have some countries have anti-ballistic missile tech, so they can, shoot your stuff down. Fortunately, we knocked Israel out of the game now too. They decided to give up, so that's good for us. Now we've got to get back to work replenishing all of our weapons here. So what is that? 2 countries out of the game. Also, let's go ahead and expand. Can we expand back into? You can de-irradiate, by the way. I don't know if that's a word, but you can kind of get some of your territory back in play if you spend time expanding back into those provinces. So you can see a big chunk of our country is currently irradiated or destroyed. We'll work on undestroying that, if you will. It's always better, in my opinion, to build up a huge number of weapons that you can use to obliterate the enemy quickly, rather than sit around and wait and see, let's take one province at a time, and then they survive far too long. So next target is over here. I think we're going to go for India. Let's go ahead and do that. They're a little bit more spread out. I wish I could... All right, let's do that. I was going to say, I wish I could spread my weapons out a bit more. I do like to watch these missiles fly out, but then I also hate that they've got a pretty robust anti-ballistic. They shot down like 3 nukes there. Alright, so we just took out a huge chunk of India, but you can see they've expanded as well, so I doubt they'll give up just based off those initial strikes. Alright, so let's jump ahead just a little bit to the final strikes on some of India's overseas territories and see how that plays out. So we were talking about super weapons. One of the things different countries have is the ability to use anti-ballistic missiles. I have not gotten to that tech yet, so I'm mostly relying on first strikes to obliterate these guys rather than... I'm kind of surprised that India... Oh, there, I was going to say, I was surprised India hasn't given up, but apparently they just gave up. So does that just leave? No, we've got Australia and North Korea. And apparently they're allied? Is that what this purple or pink line means? There you go. Diplomats say, we don't want to talk to you. Okay, well. There's one way that ends, buddies. We're pretty well diversified at this point, though. We're pretty spread out. We've got good toeholds on 2 continents. Alright, next thing I guess is North Korea. They seem to be the closest target. Probably the easiest, maybe, target. Let's try and fire it like that. Maybe we can destroy China and North Korea's. Got those multiple stages of separation. It's just cool. Just looks cool. Alright, we destroyed North Korea and China. And so North Korea has given up. And now just little old Australia remains. You know what that means? Let's nuke them. They've got possessions in New Zealand and New Guinea and Indonesia by the looks of it, but those weapons are all going to wipe out the continent. Victory! We managed to destroy 61 nations, inflict 5.5 billion casualties, 19 megatons. Felt like maybe we blew up more than that. But there you go, guys. A victory for us, and this is First Strike. It's a quick, easy little game to play. It's enjoyable. Again, this was a sponsored video by the folks who developed the game over at Blindflug. And I enjoy myself with this. I think it's a fun little game. It is available, as I said earlier, on mobile. So definitely check it out there. And then if you want to play it on PC, you can also pick it up on Steam. But it's a fun little game about nuclear war. You can play a game easily in 5-10 minutes or a little bit more. So let me know if you guys, what your thoughts are here in the chat below. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.